So this morning we're off to see Brian at NDT Developments in my 34. It made just over 1,070 horsepower to the hubs. Last time we were on there at about 40 pounds of boost. But the air temps were getting pretty high, so I'm gonna go chuck it back on again since it's cooled down a bit and run it up, see if we can get a little bit more out of it for a laugh, and yeah, go from there. But in any case, I'll shut up so you can hear the RV noises or whatever. I don't know if you can hear very much, but I'll just record it anyway, and I'll just shut up. Have to excuse my hoary mounting over here at the moment. I'm getting a dash panel thing made, hopefully, for some guy in Australia. So once that's there, that'll look nice and tidy. It'll sit there like the factory MFD, which is completely useless to me now. This is much more, I don't know, useful. It shows a lot more stuff going on. At the moment, I've just got my Nismo dash and whatever I can see over there. Just kind of winging it. It's in rear-wheel drive. There's actually a switch down over here so I can flick rear-wheel drive on and off. Because of the fact that it's got a front LST and rear LST, makes it quite hard to get around corners. So if you run it in rear wheel for some reason, it just unlocks the front diff. I'm guessing it's the transfer case preload. So yeah, mainly running in rear wheel, cruising around, and forget at times that it actually just spins quite easily. But yeah, gotta remember that. Chuck it back in four-wheel drive. Back in second. She did not look impressed. Yeah, as you can see, four-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, it doesn't make too much of a difference sometimes in the lower gears. But it still just wants this wheel spin. And that's running roughly, I think it's on 36 pounds at the moment, last time I checked the logs. So, I don't know, Brian reckons he might want to turn it up past 40 today, but we'll see. And we are here. That's bright. Have a bit of a cool down. It's getting a bit fucking hot with 42, I think, 42 pound up it. It's not too bad. Needs water meth. The air temps are getting pretty fucking hectic, so that's next on the to-do list. While we have it on this screen, you can see everything. So if you're running a Dyno pack, like Brian does, this is how it's all laid out. You've probably seen a dyno graph before, no doubt. In this situation, ratio is diff ratio, so I've got 411s in this thing, whereas standard they're 3.5 or something in that region. TCF is transmission correction factor, so basically you could punch in, say if you want 15%, if you assume that's 15% drivetrain loss, and that'll adjust the power reading for that, but generally we just run it at 1, and that's power at the hubs. And the last one is SAE. So you've probably seen this one and SAE adapted. Everyone uses different things, but what we're going to do, I think, is show you the difference it makes and what you can do with changing from J1349 to SAE adapted, and how much power difference it makes. So we let it cool down for a little while, drop the air temps a little bit. It's cracked the door and got a bit of air in here, and ended up making 1166 on 43 pounds of boost, and that's with everything as it should be. What I can show you now is the difference it makes when we change it to SAE adapted and change the air temp and lock it to, say, 35 degrees Celsius. I think that's what we locked it to for a run. So it'll go from to that one, and there you go. Gets it up to 1200 horsepower by doing absolutely nothing, just by changing the correction factor and having a play around with the air temp probe. So that shows you what you can change and play with things. You could just ramp that temperature right up if you really wanted to, and it would show even more power. But yeah, we're realistic, so it's actually meant to be on that one, and it's 1166. I think Brian's left it at about 38 pounds for now. It's making around 1100 horse, so I'll take that for a run, see what it goes like. Might need to go down the motorway at night time, check the air temp again, just make sure it's not going lean. But yeah, should be entertaining for the time being. The limiting factors now, I think, well, what we think is, if you hear me over there banging, the exhaust housing. I chose the 0.98 T4 twin scroll, thinking it would, help response, but in reality the 1.12 actually isn't much lazier and it allows it to make more power, so I might do a bit of a swap on that later on. The injectors are 2400s and they're now sitting at around 85% duty cycle, so kind of running out of injector safely. So if we go to bigger exhaust housing, that water methanol, if I get it, will compensate for not having big enough injectors. 2400s are probably the biggest I think you can go, by still having a drivable car. So we'll see. Eventually I'll do a full breakdown video of this thing anyway, when I have time and my gimbal turns up, so I can make some better looking videos instead of this shaky shit. But while we're here, this is Brian's R32 GTR. Solid 2.6 litre, stock crank and everything. It's got some Steve Merch turbo going on there. Made 680 odd kilowatt last time it was on. He's now got a bigger head on there. Well, bigger head, more grunt head we'll say. Bigger cams, Calford and everything. So don't know what he's going to try and push. He's trying to keep up with me, I think. Might need a new turbo though. Currently has no gearbox. Nice big hole, which you probably can't see because it's so fucking dark. But he's got a PPG that's still sitting in Australia. It needs to come back. He rinsed one of the bearings in it. But that's how it goes. And it will be at GTR Festival if it all goes on, hopefully. So come line us up. Come have a watch. I don't know. Yeah. All not a bad effort, I guess. That'll keep it going for now. Just wanted to make sure everything was sweet mainly, but it is. So still making good grunt. Still going hard. So eventually I'll get some more videos of boosts on the motorway or back road or something like that. And I have to take those two winners for a ride that I said I'd take for a bit of a boost. So prepare yourselves. It's not too slow. It goes alright. So if I can scare them, maybe we'll put the GoPro on the windscreen and do some video of reactions. Which be quite funny. Now, that's me for now. Catch us next time.